Wednesday, March 20th, and let's make no bones about it. The sip of the day's already happened. That was perfect coffee about an hour and a half ago when I was doing Wake Up with yours truly and Larry Krueger, going over all your 49ers news. We'll get into that and a few other things here on an abbreviated Damon Bruce show today. There isn't that much going on, being it's the eve of the NCAA tournament. We know that there's a lot of good sports coming up over the next few days. Two of my favorite days of the entire year are around the corner. Even though Indiana has screwed up my ultimate enjoyment of it, I am going to enjoy the NCAA tournament. I'm going to boldly suggest you do the same. But we begin today, the Damon Bruce Show, brought to you by Ike's Sandwiches, baby, with some news of rumors around Brandon Aiyuk. And that is Andrew Filipponi of Pittsburgh's 93.7 The Fan reports that the Steelers are pretty interested in approaching Brandon Aiyuk. And it seems like, just through his Instagram interactions and what very little we've seen on social media from Brandon Aiyuk returning to the 49ers, doesn't seem to be his plan A. It really doesn't seem to be what he wants to happen the most. Now, just because he's negotiating that way doesn't mean it's not true. Who knows? I mean, if you really, really want to go ahead and find out if, they like you, pretend to like someone else. It's an old trick that has been used throughout the ages, and maybe that's a little bit of what's going on here with Aiyuk. But the Steelers are apparently interested in executing a sign and trade. They've shown interest, and why wouldn't they? Because Brandon Aiyuk is in his prime. He is someone who's looking for more dollars than he was commanding in his last deal in the final year of his contract, and I think is going to find them because we keep on seeing the value of wide receivers go up. The market does not go down. So basically, he's wanting a level of money which is now got to be in that guaranteed $50 million range. Jerry Jeudy just got extended by the Cleveland Browns for 3 years at $58 million. If I'm Aiyuk, I want more than that. I mean, I don't think that Justin Jefferson sets your market, but a guy like Jerry Jeudy, a guy like Calvin Ridley probably do. So if there is just an unreasonable $33 million or I'm walking kind of dollar amount, maybe trading Brandon Aiyuk is the reality that the 49ers got to be looking at. But I certainly hope that it's not. I want to see that guy back in a 49ers uniform desperately. I am sure that Brock Purdy does as well. That was his favorite target. This is finally a 1,000-yard receiver in back-to-back seasons. The 49ers have been looking for this guy ever since that guy was named Anquan Boldin. So it's been a really, really long time since they've gotten any production like they get out of Aiyuk, and I do think that his production in the running game is not even being factored in to how an important, productive member of this offense he really is. He does so much more than just catch the ball. He is a downfield blocker extraordinaire in a running game that demands it. Now, maybe the demands on those wide receivers are why wide receivers kind of want to get away from Kyle Shanahan. Deebo wanted out before he came back, and maybe that's the situation that Brandon Aiyuk's headspace is kind of existing in right now. He could be convinced to come back with the right dollar amount, but maybe he's had enough. I mean, I don't know. It is a very interesting situation, a fluid situation, one that probably is right now in a little bit of a dead zone. It feels like the 49ers have done what they're about to do, what they were planning on doing in free agency. I don't expect any other name, certainly nothing big happening in free agency. There could be a trade of draft picks for, Patrick Surtain is a guy that Larry and I have been talking about. We've been talking about is here's a number one corner that could greatly affect the way your defense plays. And if you are going to be losing a guy like Brandon Aiyuk, that defense is going to officially have to get even better than it was. Maybe that is a move that we see actually hit the table before the draft starts. That could be a day of draft type of deal. The day before the draft starts, Brandon Aiyuk could be right before or day of draft starting trade as well. As we see these teams get into the draft and maybe the board doesn't fall the way that they want it to, that's when phones you didn't expect to ring start ringing, and teams get a little antsy and a little panicky. And that's when the deal that might be put in front of the Niners that they say yes to could appear about Brandon Aiyuk. The word is that the Jacksonville Jaguars, according to David Bonilla of 49ers Web Zone, the Jacksonville Jaguars were reportedly interested in trading for Brandon Aiyuk, but number 17 and wide receiver Zay Jones was too much. Okay, well, then I don't know what the Steelers might offer if Brandon Aiyuk really is the apple of their eye. What I do know is that if Brandon Aiyuk wants to play for a head coach that looks more like him, Kyle Shanahan's got no shot, and it's going to be the Steelers, because Brandon Aiyuk even was playing around on Instagram and said, hey, Mike Tomlin, a lot of people are saying we look alike. What do you think? I've looked. I think they kind of look alike. They kind of there is a definite bone structure to Brandon Aiyuk's face that is reminiscent of Mike Tomlin's face. They don't not look alike. Are they perfect twins? No. But they kind of look alike. They absolutely kind of look alike. So if that matters to Brandon Aiyuk at all, he will be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Not that Brandon really controls this, but I just thought that whole, do you think these two guys look alike? Like, you didn't even have to squint to see it. I think you can see it. You can see that in there. It's good to have you in here today. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is a Humo Day, according to the Plusers themselves, who have dubbed it as such. You got your own language over there. Love it. Got an awful lot of the regulars in here today. Good to see all of you. Otis Bird, AJ Sargent, Leslie, Albert, Michelle, Redjet, AJ Cruz, I see you. Irwin, you're all in there. Nathaniel Richards, everybody wishing each other happy Humo Day. You guys are freaking nuts. You really, truly are. Michelle writes, I hope that the 49ers front office knows how much this offseason relies on Aiyuk. He's critical. Look, he's either critical to bring back, or you make the trade and pick the player that becomes a critical piece. Brandon Aiyuk can't turn into a mulligan. Oh, well, that one doesn't count. No, he counts an awful lot, and he's going to have to count an awful lot either coming back or being shopped out for the value that would then be returned to the 49ers. But they got to get a haul for Brandon Aiyuk, or hopefully just get Brandon Aiyuk. Again, consistency. Consistency is the hardest thing in the world to find, and the 49ers have more of it offensively than most teams can claim to have anywhere. And it would just suck if in the first really big offseason year for Brock Purdy and this team going through a healthy offseason with all the normal moving parts of a healthy NFL offseason, God, it would be great to see he and Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo all just working together. We see that Deebo and George Kittle are going to be working together in a new Netflix documentary called Receiver. So in Receiver, they got a guy who might be more of a running back and a guy who's definitely a tight end. Receiver, starring tight ends and maybe a running back. But it is interesting that we're going to have the camera on not just one, but two 49ers in this upcoming Netflix documentary. I watched a little bit, not the entire thing, of Quarterback, which is obviously the first inception of the same documentary series that's happening on Netflix. It should be interesting. It was done well. It really was. So I would like to see how they lean into Kittle being a receiver, even though he's a tight end, and what he's represented to the Niners, and how Deebo, even though he's a receiver, he's still more of a hybrid guy, and what that means to him. Like, there are a couple of interesting stories there to go over, and we'll see if Netflix doesn't actually get it right. When it comes to getting it right, I can't guarantee you your entire day. Certainly the breakfast that you had or the dinner that you might have are going to be delicious, but I can guarantee you a delicious lunch. All you need to do is go to Aiyuk's. You tell that nice app that you're ordering off of or the nice person behind the counter that today you want a Damon Bruce. Today's the day to have a Damon Bruce. It's the middle of the day. It's a nice big meaty sandwich right for the middle of your meaty week. Let's go. Get yourself a Damon Bruce at Aiyuk's. Everything that you could possibly want under the sun you can find at Aiyuk's. Start your journey with a Damon Bruce. Damon Bruce. It is ribeye, provolone, steak sauce. I put mine on a French roll, onion rings. Not on the side, on the sandwich for a little crunch, crunch, crunch. I suggest you eat it right away. That way you get that crunch, crunch, crunch. It's so good. It is so good. Get yourself that Aiyuk's Rewards program. Start eating your way towards free sandwiches. If you haven't been to an Aiyuk's, get yourself to an Aiyuk. There are people who get on airplanes and fly to the West Coast for like an In-N-Out burger. What a waste of a flight. Go to Aiyuk's. Trust me, go to Aiyuk's. Thanks to my man, you can support me by supporting him. You can support this by hitting like and subscribe. Would certainly thank you if you did just that. Of course, Super Chat's available. Oh, and do we have new fancy stickers for our members? Are there new stickers? Are there new badges? For those of you in the initiated, I've heard stories that there are new fancy badge colors. Congratulations and thank you very, very much for supporting what we're doing over here. I should tell you right now that tomorrow's show is going to happen later in the afternoon and weather permitting from my backyard. I've got an early, well, I guess it's late morning, early afternoon meeting that I have to go to tomorrow. So we'll hop on and do the 11 o'clock show, probably around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll do it from the backyard, and we'll do it on the live shorts just to do a little something new, a little different. And all I can tell you is that I hope you're there, and I hope you like that one too, as we continue to, I think, cover the Bay better than, anyone. But that's just that's up to you to decide. It's up to me to suggest. It's up to you to decide. If you're back here again, thank you for deciding to spend your very important, precious free time with yours truly. Okay, so what else have we got going on in terms of NFL news? We have seen free agent news start to slow down. You're seeing, teams put out press releases. We've signed the player that we told you were going to sign, that we were going to sign about a week ago. That happens, but in terms of new stuff, the Jets signed former wide receiver Mike Williams to a 1-year deal worth about $15 million. Again, the Browns' Jerry Jeudy 3-year, $58 million extension is interesting to us only because we're looking for price points for Brandon Aiyuk. Chase Young has signed a 1-year deal for $13 million with the Saints, but is going to miss an early part of training camp, if not some preseason games, with a neck procedure that he now needs to have. And look, Chase Young didn't work out the way that the 49ers wanted it to. But he wasn't all the way bad. He certainly wasn't all the way good. His reputation for being a guy who might dog it a little followed him. And there is no doubt that he cost himself multiple years and millions of dollars by jogging in the NFC title game. When that camera's rolling, you better put it on tape. Chase Young didn't. And even though he redeemed himself with a productive Super Bowl, he is out, and he's now a New Orleans Saint, and we wish him the very best going forward. No reason to be mad at Chase Young. No reason to talk of him with fond, warm memories either. We're only 36 days away from the NFL draft. We're going to get through it quickly because, again, the NCAA tournament makes the next 4 or 5 days fly by real fast. Then you get into what? Major League Baseball, which technically is now underway. The Dodgers beat the Padres over in South Korea. So that is the first official Major League Baseball game of the year. Mookie Betts goes 2 for 4. Ohtani goes 2 for 5 with a stolen base. And baseball, I don't know how much baseball could have done better by this moment, because I'm sure that the Dodgers and the Padres agreed to go play internationally in South Korea years ago, before Shohei Ohtani was making a debut with the Los Angeles Dodgers anyways. But the fact that, just even if baseball hopes to get it right, they still never get it right. Shohei Ohtani made his Dodger debut in the middle of the night when no one was watching here in America. No one. No, Shohei Ohtani, the most important baseball player in the world, on the Dodgers, made his debut in a land that is too far away for anyone to have watched it back here in the United States. It just doesn't make much sense. And again, the parameters of the game were agreed to, I'm sure, long before Shohei Ohtani thought about being a Los Angeles Dodger. But not that I'm rooting for Major League Baseball to catch breaks, but they can't catch a break. They really can't, in terms of marketing, in terms of putting, your biggest name on one of your biggest teams and then have them roll out in South Korea. I saw today Damon Amendola basically was talking about this, and he said it would be the equivalent of the NFL seeing Patrick Mahomes become the next quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and then the Dallas Cowboys play the Tennessee Titans in Germany. First game. Funny hours. And he had a good point. He did have a good point. Obviously, the prospects of this being an interesting baseball season rose, if not dramatically, certainly did rise with the addition of Blake Snell to the San Francisco Giants rotation. Snell and Logan, that is a legit 1-2. Logan Snell, however it comes out, Webb Snell, I don't know how it goes, but that is a legit 1-2 punch at the top of a rotation. And all of a sudden, again, that offseason for the Giants begins to look a lot better with Matt Chapman and Jorge Soler. And, speaking of South Korea, he is having a really good spring training as well. Jung-Hoo Lee. So let's see what this team looks like before we just declare it dead on arrival. And the San Francisco Giants, again, needed some good PR a day after they let go of Renel, who was wildly popular. And if you watched Wake Up, Larry and I talked about it in no uncertain terms. We don't know what exactly all the parameters were around why she lost her job. If something she said about the owner rubbed the owner the wrong way, that is a really good way for anyone to go about losing their job. Whether it be a fair or true criticism of the owner, whether it be you punching above or below your weight class, when you take a shot at a bullseye that big, whether you hit the bullseye or miss it, just the attempt to take the shot might be enough to rub the powers that be the wrong way. I thought Larry broke it down pretty simply when he just said, Renel never said anything about any level of Giants ownership for 24 years, and then she did, and now she won't be back for a 25th? Draw your own conclusions. Makes me worry about Adam Copeland's future at KNBR. With him coming out and retweeting things that are basically accusing the Giants of racism, and he's now the program director of KNBR, and their biggest business partner can't be too happy about all that. It's a little bit of an awkward situation. Again, everyone's got the right to tug on Superman's cape. But then Superman turns around, and what are you going to do? So just be careful. Be careful with the masters that you must serve to cash the paycheck that you enjoy. This is why being on YouTube has officially made me one of the more dangerous men in the room, don't you think? There is no master to serve. There is no paycheck for me to be worried about before I sit down to do any broadcast in any manner that I deem fit. That's what makes me dangerous. That's what makes YouTube dangerous. That's what makes content creators dangerous, because they're not operating under an umbrella of a business decision that is going to trump anything you might have to say. So that's the beauty of some independence. Get yourself some independence, folks. It's good for you. What else we got going on here? The Golden State Warriors just laid down and died to a shorthanded New York Knicks team. They better not lay down and die against the Memphis Grizzlies this evening at Chase Center. If the Warriors are to lose to the Memphis Grizzlies, they should officially turn down an invitation to the NIT. Like, that's how bad their postseason prospects officially become. Every team can go out there and have a bad game against an opponent they might have been overlooking. Not that the Warriors afforded themselves that luxury or that viewpoint, but maybe that's what happened against the Knicks. You cannot let that happen now against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are a bad basketball team. The Warriors have played themselves into a losing record at home, which means you cannot make the argument that they're a good basketball team. Yeah, you got a losing record at home, you're not a good basketball team. Period. The Warriors, I hate to say it, are maybe being reduced to monitoring the pieces and asking how they fit going forward, because there will be no contending for anything this year, most likely, and they're just not. Even though the pieces are starting to fit together a little bit better in moments, they don't have enough of those moments stacked on top of enough of those moments for you to really think that what I'm looking at tonight is sustainable for this team. I mean, look at how many games they've already played and how few games they have left. What do they got? 15 games left in their entire year? 15 games remaining? Guess what? You are who you fucking are at that point. There is no, well, we might be able to be this now. No. You've had your entire year to show us who you might be. And then you had a limping Knicks team coming in here to let us know that you don't forget those lessons in between games after you just beat the Lakers on the road, because Steph is back. All right, Steph is back. Everyone pointed in the right direction now. And then they come and sleepwalk through the first 5 minutes against the Knicks? Shame on them. Steph Curry, Jonathan Kuminga, Trace Jackson Davis, everyone else is apart. And I can't wait till this team is apart from business with Andrew Wiggins, the least inspiring basketball player, maybe of all time. I mean, just when you need him, that's him. Meanwhile, we get an NCAA tournament starting tomorrow. I like that, and that's not why I'm playing hooky, and I'll go on with you during the afternoon. But tomorrow's show will come to you in the afternoon, and we'll probably do it over on Shorts. It looks like a live broadcast, but it's done in the aspect ratios if you're watching Shorts. So instead of doing this, you can do this. There you go. Why? I don't know. Just for something different. I did see this, boy, about Victor Wembanyama, and I always love a good story. I really do. Victor Wembanyama on Tuesday night had 12 points, 11 rebounds, 6 blocks, 3 assists, and a steal. He joins Bol, David Robinson, Mark Eaton, and Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning as the only rookies with 20 games of 5 or more blocks in a single season. Victor Wembanyama is not only the rookie of the year, like unanimous, he should be the defensive player of the year as well. That guy's incredible. There ain't nothing like him on planet basketball. Nowhere. The NBA definitely would not ask Victor Wembanyama to make his NBA debut in the middle of the night in South Korea. I guess that's the difference between baseball and basketball. Well, there's a lot of differences. But there you go, my boys and girls. Thank you so much for being here today. I have a little Club Plus right around the corner for you. But I told you I would never waste your time. I told you I would never take you down a road that you didn't deserve to walk down, and there's nothing else really happening on here. We could talk about Tom Izzo saying there should be a coach or two in the NCAA selection committee. I don't know how many of you actually want to hear it. I agree with that. But I don't know any time that's going to happen. Again, expertise sounds like it would be a good thing to have in the room, yet rarely does expertise really walk into the room. What do you think? Anything over here? Anything new? Nope. What is this? Lions cornerback Cameron Sutton wanted in a battery case. I haven't seen that before right now. All right. Well, police in Florida are searching for Detroit Lions cornerback Cameron Sutton for about 2 weeks after an arrest was issued for his. So this guy, he's facing a charge of domestic battery by strangulation. Ugh. Well, all right. Should probably read a little bit more about that before we jump to any conclusions. But don't strangle anyone, kids. Oh, you know what? Here's what I will wrap up today's show with officially before we hop into Club Plus and we see your comments and what you're all talking about. I almost killed someone today. I really mean that. There are a few weeks of the year where the sun's rotation and Ocean Avenue or Monterey Avenue are just putting your car directly in the path of the sun. Like, could not be. I don't care if you're wearing sunglasses. I don't care if you've got your visor down. I don't care if you're doing what I was doing and driving with the Heisman Trophy pose, trying to block out the sun with your hand as well, and your sunglasses and your visor down. I couldn't even see whether the traffic light were red or green. It's just nothing but glare. And as I'm up looking to see, is this traffic light red or green? There is this old gentleman walking through the and if Jillian had not said, "Look out," I'd probably kill somebody's grandfather this morning. Like it really, I would have hit this man. I would have. I wasn't going very fast, but he was an old man. I don't think there's any age where hitting that person with your car is the right age, but he was definitely the wrong age to be getting hit by a car. And I almost killed a guy this morning. And I'm a good, alert driver, but that is, I'm telling you, there are some streets in this town that align with the rising or the setting of the sun where those streets should be like cut off. I mean, it is dangerous. Driving like this. You're like a vampire. The sun's hitting you so hard. It's like leaving Dre's in Vegas. You're like, man, we've been at this club for hours. Let's get out of here. And you get out of there and you realize it's 7:30 in the morning. And you're like, God, the sun. Anyway, thank God I didn't run over a man today and start Wednesday with a vehicular manslaughter charge. It was that close. I sat down to do Wake Up with Larry a little rattled. I really was. I know how to calm down and take deep breaths. And I need to order an Ike sandwich. And I need to find my Zen. And I'll be okay. Thank you for finding me. Thank you for finding this podcast. We're going to continue on YouTube with a little Club Plus, but if you are listening on the podcast, I'll let you know that the Wake Up from this morning is also available. Larry and I get into an argument about Joe Lacob at the end. Neither one of us really saw it coming, but it happened. I think you're going to like it. And let's see. That's all the news that's fit to print. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please do remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, he's gone. now you hear the squeaky disco ball. Got to improve that. Boom, boom. That light's off. We're on. Here we go. What do we got? We start at the very, very, very top, which means we are, about 20 minutes behind actual showtime right here. And what do we got going on? Don't scare me like that, Damon. I don't even know what you were talking about, but thank you. I'm trying not to scare you. Major League Baseball, it's not about catching a break, it's about basic competency. Well, look, growing the game of baseball is, I don't begrudge baseball for doing that. I think putting regular season games in the NFL overseas is, a smart, prudent thing to do. I don't begrudge baseball doing that. But unfortunately for Major League Baseball, they sent over the Dodgers when they were going to have what would have been the most anticipated Dodger debut since who? Jackie? For God's sakes. But no one got to see it because it happened in South Korea. Like, I'm not bashing South Korea. I'm not bashing Major League Baseball, but the timing of all of it sucked. James Jones, good to see you. Nathaniel Richards, good to see you. There's James Jones. I clicked on the wrong thing, but it's good to see you, Nate. And it's good to see you, James. Thank you very much. Spreading that love around. Oh, we got it. Admiral. You heard the David Robinson reference? Is that why we got an Admiral? Steve Cass says, Chase Young is literally undergoing neck surgery. I wish him well. Yeah, that's one of those positions on a body you don't want weakened if you're a football player, because your neck is in the middle of an awful lot of the business you're conducting out there. So I don't think there's any reason to root against the guy. There wasn't nearly enough reason to root for the guy, which is why he's gone. But, Chase Young is still a young man. He's got an awful lot of talent. If he ever puts it together, look out, NFL. We got Irwin saying, I wonder if the Giants will go the Warriors route and start leveraging K-pop to build fan interest in attendance. You can't go wrong betting on K-pop. That shit's popular, man. It really is. Might not be as popular as it was like one summer ago, but it's a big deal. And this is about, look, it's not about just sucking up to K-pop. It's about going to new places. If sucking up to K-pop gets more Warrior jerseys sold in South Korea, then you do that. Because Curry's already huge in China. He's already huge in Japan. He's got one of the biggest selling jerseys on the planet. How do we sell more? Let's bring Korea into the mix. Again, this is why the Giants, pardon me, this is why the Giants should have put $800 million in front of Shohei Ohtani. Said none of it's deferred. As a matter of fact, we'll give it all to you up front. The amount of business in Asia that the Dodgers are about to do is gargantuan. Like, there is no Major League Baseball team that even matters in Japan but the Dodgers now, because Shohei is one of them. That is a level of, like, would you spend almost $1 billion to invest in the unwavering attention of the entire country of Japan? I would have done that. Now, maybe the Giants did that deal light, right? They went after the biggest name in Korean baseball. So let's see what Jung-Hoo Lee means in terms of what he means to the actual baseball team on the field and what he means to global marketing. But maybe that's the horizon that the Giants will be looking to boldly venture out on for new business dealings. What else we got going? Again, Red Jet, just always in a great mood. How are my favorite people this morning? Red Jet, you're one of our favorite people. Thanks for being in a great mood and a happy person every single day. 49ers Ultimate Report, toning down expectations. I just hope the Giants have a winning record. Yeah, I mean, it all starts at 82 wins, right? Our man James Jones, again, I think the Giants are about to have a better season than most pundits think. Again, I think pundits are starting to recalculate what they are thinking based on that one move of Blake Snell alone. Because for the Giants to get it done this year, they're going to have to do an awful lot of pitching, because I don't see in the lineup doing an awful lot of hitting. So pitching and defense is how the Giants won 3 world championships. I'm not saying that they have the level of pitching and defense required to do that, but all you want to do is get in there. You got 2 legitimate, healthy, real top-of-the-order guys like Logan Webb and Blake Snell. If Kyle Harrison officially figures it out, if you're playing 8-inning games because you got Duvall slamming doors like an angry relationship slams doors, you all of a sudden Giants might have something. Are they the Dodgers? No, but guess what? The Giants haven't been better than the Dodgers on paper in 20 years. The Giants, when they were winning championships, weren't better on paper than the Dodgers in 2010, 12, or 14. So, what does it all mean? I don't know. By the way, Otis Bird III, who is a radio historian walking among us in our own chat, he agrees. I was surprised that Copes retweeted that too. Brian Copeland, Adam Copeland's father, tweeted, I have an inside source from the Giants who are saying that Renel was let go over an argument over her supporting Black Lives Matter, or something that tantamounted to, this is not job performance, this is about political preference, and her saying, I don't like the way Charles Johnson spends his money, which is her prerogative to say, as much as it is Charles Johnson's prerogative to spend his money in any way he wants, even though he continues to fund a horrific side of the ticket. If you believe in America, you can't believe in the Republican Party anymore. I'm sorry, folks, that's the way it goes. If you are someone who votes yes on democracy, you cannot vote yes for whatever that side of the aisle is doing while it's lost in its, Trump fever dream that just won't stop. So it's something else what is going on out there. And people have taken, hard stands, and those hard stands have gotten a lot of people in trouble. Again, whoever your boss is, you start shitting on your boss publicly for anything, you could find yourself in Dutch quickly. I hope Adam Copeland survives the retweet. I really do. But I'll tell you, that afternoon show on KNBR, it's not doing very well. And either way, the program director or the host is involved. So I don't know what's going on in that department. And guess what? Terrestrial radio is no longer my department to really even worry about. Big Mac in here for a little dangerous Damon. That's what I'm talking about. How about this? Damon has the leverage now. The beautiful part of it. Again, we got the leverage. We got the platform. As soon as we've got the income, we'll be really dangerous. And that is up to you to like and subscribe and to become a member of the initiated fancy new badges. I believe Bain officially needs and owes members a video coming up soon. So now that we got new fancy badges, that's going to happen. Barry Ford, Dr. Danger, not a physician. Danger is my middle name. There's someone else. There it is, Rockin' New Era. Danger, Damon's middle name. JJ Raider, Damon, I am the danger. Damon is the danger. Look, I'm just more dangerous over here. Done. What else we got going on? AJ Sargent. Independence. Tastes great. Less filling. Damon is the one who knocks for you Breaking Bad fans out there. Our good friend, Postman. Oh, no, wait, excuse me. This is Sporticus. I thought of Postman. Postman, I know you're out there. Love you, buddy. Free speech has consequences that can be right or wrong or good or bad. It always has. This is true. Again, the truth out there can get you in trouble. The truth can set you free. The truth can get you imprisoned. Chef A. Damn it, Warriors. I knew they were a 500 team early on in this year. Again, look, you watch about 2-3 months of basketball, you get your thumb on the pulse of a basketball team. And the pulse of the basketball team this entire year hasn't just been, well, you know, they're such veterans, they're not really into the regular season anymore, but when it comes time to really start playing basketball, they will. No, the tone of the entire team is these pieces don't really fit together. Now they are kind of fitting together, but we can't keep them fitting together for more than a few days in a row here. And it's not connecting the way it used to. There's a reason why Kerr returns to that word in so many losing press conferences. We weren't connected. I don't know what you need to do to be connected, but whatever it is, the Warriors don't easily do it anymore. I would really start looking at this team in the harsh reality of the light that it's standing in and just say, okay, so Curry is a non-negotiable. Kuminga is a non-negotiable. Trace Jackson-Davis is developing in a way that is above anyone's expectations. Obviously, Draymond's not going anywhere. Those 4 guys, that's what you got. Everyone else around them is eminently replaceable. I would love to see more Moody. Podziemski, I think, will be ready for a bigger role, but he's not right now. Chris Paul, what are you going to come back for another year, Chris Paul? I like him, but you can't get older in this offseason. Bringing back Chris Paul would do just that. They didn't trade him away. They kind of, hovered around this gray area, never really going black or white. And that's what's muted this year. You got to commit to not necessarily a rebuild, but you got to commit to something different, or you're going to come back and bring it back and all get old at the same time with not enough talented young guys to hold up the aging process. And that's where they are. Getting older sucks. The Warriors are going nowhere. It's time to retire Wiggins. Again, I don't need to ever see Andrew Wiggins play another basketball game. I will have missed nothing. Absolutely nothing. Barry, who is from Memphis, says, hey, that's my home team. It's not good. We have a history of signing immature players. Those players' behavior detrimentally affects the entire team. John Morant, for example. Again, Desmond Bane, huge pain in the ass, and he was a defining feature of that team until he wasn't. And unfortunately, John Morant, who's got more talent in his fingernail than most franchises have in their entire locker room, wanted to be an Instagram gangster more than he wanted to be a poster child for being a professional basketball player. And it has absolutely taken John Morant's career started off on one course. It is now on a different course. And it's because Ja put it there with his immature decisions and now coming back and playing too much and playing too hard and having to shut it down because he's hurt. It ain't good. It ain't good. Smiley Dan says, I can't Chromecast the shorts. My only complaint. Smiley Dan, I don't even know what the Chromecast is. I'm sorry I'm letting you down. I don't even know what that is. Let's see. Lore says Steve Kerr needs to time management or he has to go away. Look, Steve's not going anywhere. He just signed an extension, for goodness sakes. And the Warriors don't have a strategic problem. The Warriors have a player problem. And unfortunately, the guys that you might want to lean on to get you through these growing pains are old enough to where you can't be giving them 44 minutes a night. So again, they're kind of painted into a quarter. A corner. Chef wants to know, are you all pounding on that like button? Are you officially doing it? Are you making it happen? Are you getting it done?
Pound it, pound it, pound it, pound it.
How about Red Jet? I was on Ocean Avenue this morning, too. I had an appointment on that street, went to Commodore and Aptos. What do you get? What do you, Sloat? What do you go? There's a school right down there that Jack just got into, but we don't want him to go to that school. We want him to go to a school with a Mandarin immersion program, so we're going to petition. And, of course, nothing can be easy. And let me tell you, San Francisco, you believe in diversity, equity, inclusion? Then let the little white kid with blue eyes and blonde hair into the Chinese immersion program. All he did was score 100% on his proficiency test. You want diversity and equity? Give the white man a break. Or in this case, the white man being an adorable 4-year-old little boy. Damon out here trying to take out senior citizens. Dude, I'm telling you, it was close. Chef A says, I'm glad Jillian yelled out. Had Jillian not yelled out, I hit that guy. I probably hit that guy. So I am very happy that I did not kill someone with my car today. Steve, you might be familiar with this town. He says, the problem with the lights on Ocean Avenue and West Portal have always been a problem since they redid the lights. I mean, to me, the only thing that is wrong with the lights is that I couldn't see them because of the sun. I'm not accusing the Department of Traffic and Engineering for getting these lights wrong. It was that glowing ball of fire in the sky that was just directly in my eyes. I mean, you could not, if I were a cop shining a mag light in your eyes to see if your pupils dilated or how hammered you might be, it couldn't have been any brighter. Then that sun was just, it was bad. Yeah, everyone. I'm really happy that you didn't accidentally kill a person today. Crazy Juice, thank you. I am too. He certainly seemed like a nice old man. That guy is somebody's grandfather. And he's walking a dog. And he's walking a dog. So I might have killed a man and his dog. That would have been truly unforgivable. So squint when driving up and down Ocean Avenue. You're going to need to do that. Whatever, dude. Appreciating me. Well, thank you. And, this is what it is. Whatever, dude says, I'm a Republican and I value your opinion, Damon. Well, thank you. Again, here's the thing. I was very much someone who was raised conservative and Republican, and my dad voted more, I bet you, Republican elections than Democrats, but I never said I'm going to vote for one party over the person. And the choice between Joe Biden, who is clearly a flawed older man, and the choice between Donald Trump, who is clearly a selfish, evil fucker of the first degree, is no choice at all. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, one political party is trying, as much as they screw it up, and there's an awful lot that the left screws up, but one political party is actually trying to have a conversation about things that, if we could solve them, could make America a better place for a lot of people. The other party is trying to tell you that Hillary is eating babies in the bottom of a pizza parlor. How do you have a conversation that is approaching rational between the two? You can't. Kiko. DB, your favorite Godzilla movie? What do you think of the Godzilla -1? I'm looking forward to the new Godzilla King Kong movie. So I don't like any Godzilla movies. I like old Godzilla TV shows. That's the Godzilla that I like. I think all the movies have basically been trash. I hear that Godzilla -1 is the first Godzilla movie that is excellent, like truly an excellent movie. And I do want to see it. I still haven't seen it, but I do want to see Godzilla -1. Godzilla King Kong, they used to be enemies. Now they're friends. Come on. I don't think I need that. Jillian likes bad monster movies more than I do. Jillian, you know what Jillian's favorite movie is? The Meg. Tolbert and Copes versus Willard and Dibbs. And Willard and Dibbs are clocking Tolbert and Copes. And I'm telling you, I would not lose for a minute to Willard or Dibbs. I mean, that's just, come on. Come on. I don't lose to all four of them. I just saw my wallet the other day. It's the one that says bad motherfucker on it. Postman, I knew you were here. I knew you were here. My man. Anything else? Anything else going on here in the chat that we absolutely 100% have to get to? I guess not. Oh, by the way, Red Jet Shell, Aptos Tiger. Class in 93. Oh, you're a baby. Oh, my goodness. Class in 93. I'm graduating college in 97. My goodness. Let's see. I think we're good. I want to remind everyone that tomorrow's show is going to happen from the backyard. Going to happen from the backyard. Going to happen. I'm sorry it ruined Steely or the Smiley Dan's Chromecast, whatever that is. I don't even know what a Chromecast is, but we're going to have ourselves a little outdoor day. We're going to have ourselves a teacher brings the outdoors under the old oak tree. I got a rose bush that I've recently pruned. Maybe we'll show you the rose bush and we'll monitor the growth of these roses together. Gardening with Damon. I told you, these are going to be the bold types of programming that very few channels have the guts to do. Big Mac is saying, oh my goodness, I'm looking forward. We might have to get ourselves a cocktail, right? Might have to get a cocktail. What do we got here? 1 o'clock is when the Ducks play, Damon. Oh, well, look, Michelle, you got choices to make. Maybe we'll get going a little bit earlier. And we'll wrap up with Rockin' New Era 84. Show us the bush. Unbelievable. I'll show you the rose bush tomorrow. I'll show you my trimmed bush tomorrow. And if that's not a tease that guarantees most of you won't be back, I don't know what is. All I'm telling you is you're an incredible audience. Thanks so much for tuning in, for watching today. Always great to hang out. And please do remember that you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here.